There is a sacred stillness that fills the space when you and your twin flame stop communicating. It isn't an ordinary silence. It vibrates with emotion, memory, and an invisible pull that continues to link both souls. Though it feels like an ending, this silence is not the death of the connection. It is the beginning of transformation. Many mistake no contact for rejection or failure. Yet it is in this quietness that both twins begin their deepest healing. The universe uses this pause to rebalance energies, dissolve illusions, and awaken you to truths you could not see while you were entangled in constant exchange. Silence is the soul's way of calling both of you home to yourselves. This stage is not punishment, it is a sacred opportunity. When you stop reaching out, chasing, or clinging, the journey shifts from outer focus to inner awakening. What follows may feel uncertain at first, but it unfolds into profound growth and peace. Let's explore what truly happens when communication ceases and how that silence becomes one of the most powerful teachers on your twin flame path. 1. The silence awakens inner chaos. When contact ends, your mind begins to race. The quiet feels unbearable at first because it exposes every unhealed emotion you've been avoiding: fear of abandonment, self-doubt, and the ache of longing. The connection was intense, and now its sudden absence creates a void. That void feels like loss, but it's actually space where healing can begin. This is when the chaser experiences emotional turbulence. You replay conversations, analyze everything, and wonder what went wrong. Yet this discomfort has a higher purpose. It's meant to push you inward. The silence forces you to stop looking for reassurance outside yourself and start listening to your soul. The runner, too, is affected. Though they seem calm or detached, they feel the energetic pull just as strongly. Their silence is often a form of survival, a way to process overwhelming emotions. But eventually, it also becomes their mirror, reflecting the fears and unresolved pain they've tried to suppress. The key during this stage is not to resist the silence, but to surrender to it. Feel your emotions fully, but let them flow through you rather than define you. The more you accept the stillness, the more it begins to soothe rather than torment. This inner chaos is the breaking open that must happen before peace can be rebuilt. 2. The energy between you begins to shift. As the emotional storm settles, something profound occurs. The energy between you and your twin flame starts to rebalance. When communication stops, your energy that was once directed toward the other person begins to turn inward. The dynamic of giving and chasing transforms into one of self-restoration. At first, you may feel emptiness where their energy used to be, but soon you notice a calm strength growing within you. You begin to reclaim your power. Meanwhile, the runner begins to feel the absence of your energy. The comfort they once drew from your attention is gone, and the silence makes them aware of what they truly feel. This energetic shift is necessary. It restores balance to a connection that may have become emotionally uneven. You start realizing that love is not about clinging or convincing. It's about alignment. As your vibration stabilizes, the connection evolves from dependence into mutual spiritual awareness. You might also feel waves of emotion, dreams about your twin, or moments of unexpected peace. These are signs that energy is realigning. The more centered you become, the more balanced the bond feels. Love stops being a chase and becomes a quiet current that flows naturally between two awakening souls. 3. Emotional healing takes root. Silence, though painful, is fertile ground for emotional healing. Without constant contact, your focus turns inward. You begin to see that some of the pain isn't just about your twin, it's old pain resurfacing for release. Childhood fears, rejection wounds, and self-worth struggles all rise to the surface asking to be healed. Healing comes slowly, through acceptance and self-compassion. You start to understand that your emotions are not punishments. They're messages from your soul guiding you toward wholeness. You realize that what you miss is not only your twin flame's presence, but the reflection of love you once felt through them. The true task now is to cultivate that same love within yourself. This is also when boundaries begin to form. You stop people-pleasing, stop overextending yourself, and start honoring your peace. You learn that real love doesn't require you to lose yourself. This shift toward self-respect changes the energy between you and your twin flame more powerfully than any message ever could. As you grow emotionally, your twin senses it. They may not know why, but something within them begins to stir. Healing within one twin always ripples through the bond. And as you rise in self-love, you begin to radiate the kind of energy that invites peace instead of chaos. Hash 4. You awaken to your own power. There comes a day when the silence no longer hurts. You wake up and feel different. Lighter, freer, more centered. You realize your happiness no longer depends on their attention. That moment marks the birth of your personal power. You start to remember who you are outside of the connection. The same energy that once fueled longing now flows into creativity, purpose, and self-expression. You discover new interests, connect with your spirituality, and rediscover joy in solitude. This empowerment shifts everything. You stop chasing, not because you've given up, but because you've grown. You begin to embody the energy of the love you once sought. The runner, feeling this shift, starts to sense the difference too. They are drawn not to your absence, but to your strength, your calm, your light, your authenticity. Awakening to your power is one of the most beautiful outcomes of the no-contact phase. It teaches you that love isn't about possession, but resonance. The more you align with your higher self, the stronger your energy becomes. You realize your twin flame journey was never meant to break you. It was meant to awaken you. 5. The runner faces their awakening. While you are growing, your twin flame runner begins their own transformation. The silence that once felt like escape slowly becomes heavy. They feel the absence of your energy and the stability it once brought. Without your comforting presence, they are left with themselves, and that's when their awakening begins. At first, they may distract themselves or appear to move on, but deep down they cannot ignore the connection. The quiet gives rise to self-reflection. They begin to confront what they ran from, their fears of vulnerability, their resistance to love, their discomfort with deep emotions. Eventually, they realize that running didn't end the connection. It only delayed their growth. This realization can trigger a period of deep transformation. They might experience dreams, sudden memories of you, or moments of overwhelming emotion that remind them of what's unresolved. Every twin flame must face their awakening in their own time. You cannot rush this process. What you can do is trust that the same divine force guiding you is guiding them too. When you focus on your peace instead of their actions, you indirectly support their evolution. In silence, both twins are being shaped for eventual reunion or at least mutual healing. 6. The connection strengthens beyond the physical. As both of you awaken, the bond between you deepens beyond physical form. You begin to understand that your connection was never limited to messages or presence. It has always existed on a soul level. Even in silence, you can feel them. Their thoughts, emotions, and energy seem to brush against yours in ways words never could. This stage is not about obsession or fantasy. It's spiritual truth. When two souls are connected this deeply, communication can happen energetically. You may think of them and sense them thinking of you. You may feel their emotions or hear intuitive whispers that bring peace. This is the soul's way of saying, "We are still one." The absence of contact teaches you to trust without proof. You stop needing constant reassurance and begin to rest in knowing. The connection evolves into unconditional love, love that doesn't demand, doesn't cling, doesn't suffer. This is the stage where your heart begins to open fully. You learn to love them without needing them to act a certain way. You send them love energetically, wishing them healing and happiness. As you do, that love comes back to you multiplied, because the energy between twin flames always circulates. Natter 7. Alignment with the higher self. Eventually, the journey through silence brings you into alignment with your higher self, the divine aspect of your soul that understands the bigger picture. You begin to see the purpose of every stage, the pain, the separation, the longing, and the healing. Everything has been guiding you toward awakening. Your higher self sees love differently. It knows that nothing is truly lost. Everything is energy transforming. You realize that you and your twin flame are never truly apart. You are evolving in parallel, each preparing to meet love in its purest form. Living from your higher self means you stop clinging to outcomes. You no longer measure progress by contact or reunion, but by peace within. You begin to enjoy the present moment, finding beauty even in solitude. You trust divine timing and understand that love cannot be forced, it must flow. This alignment changes your entire vibration. You move through life with grace, kindness, and quiet strength. You attract harmony in all areas: relationships, opportunities, and experiences. You no longer search for love, you embody it. This is the real destination of the twin flame journey. As your energy becomes balanced, the external world mirrors that peace. You notice life flowing more smoothly. Relationships feel lighter, synchronicities increase, and even your connection with your twin feels calmer. The turbulence that once defined the journey begins to fade. The love between you still exists, but it feels freer, more spacious. Whether reunion happens or not, you feel complete within yourself. And ironically, it's often in this energy of detachment and contentment that reunion naturally occurs. Your twin, sensing your calm, may feel drawn back, not to the old dynamic, but to the new vibration of mutual respect and peace. But even if physical reunion does not happen immediately, you no longer feel lack. You understand that everything unfolds as it should. The silence that once hurt you now feels sacred. It became the womb where your transformation took place. This is the stage of genuine freedom. You live guided by faith rather than fear. You stop trying to control outcomes and instead trust that what's meant for you will find you in perfect timing. The final stage is surrender. Surrender is not defeat, it is divine trust. You no longer resist what is, nor do you chase what was. You rest in the knowing that love flows where it is meant to flow. You stop fighting life and begin to move with it. This surrender brings profound peace. You begin to notice divine signs guiding you, comforting you, reminding you that everything is unfolding perfectly. You no longer need answers because you feel guided from within. You no longer feel alone because you sense divine presence in every moment. In this peace, the connection with your twin flame transforms from a story of struggle to one of grace. The runner stops running, the chaser stops chasing, and both souls rest in understanding. The silence becomes sacred, a quiet reminder that true love never dies, it only evolves. From this place of surrender, life becomes beautifully simple. You attract what aligns with your soul and release what doesn't. You no longer wait for happiness, you live it. And that is the greatest reunion of all, the union between you and your higher self. When contact ends between twin flames, it may feel like everything has fallen apart. But in truth, everything is falling into place. The silence that seems empty is actually the universe rearranging both souls for higher alignment. It teaches patience, strengthens faith, and awakens love that is unconditional. If you are in that silence now, trust it. Let it transform you. Every tear, every doubt, every quiet night is guiding you toward your highest self. You are not forgotten. You are being refined. The silence is where love stops being a story of longing and becomes a journey of awakening. And when the time is right, you will see that what felt like an ending was always the beginning of something divine.